Now that our kitchen is still in a complete disarray, we still have everything piled in a room. We haven't quite sorted it all. Now is the time when it kind of gets a little iffy when you don't know if you need to cook supper, if you don't need to cook supper. We've got about one more week in the house, and so I don't want to make too much food and have too many leftovers and have to throw them away. So this is probably going to be the last night that I'll make food. Hopefully it'll last for just a few days, and then we'll probably just eat hamburgers or hot dogs or whatever until we move. But tonight I'm making beef stroganoff in the crock pot. So all you do is you take a shallow bowl and you put a half a cup of all-purpose flour. You put 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a half a teaspoon of ground mustard, and an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And then you take your beef. This is just top round beef that I have cut into strips. You just take it and put it all in here, and you just coat it really good. Make sure it gets coated pretty good. We've had this recipe before and we really liked it. I've even put 2 check marks by it in the recipe book, so it must be a good one. We haven't had it in a while, but it's going to be an easy one. I like the easy dishes because you just throw them in the crock pot and let them go. Okay, so then once you have all that covered, you just slice your onions in rings and you just put them in the bottom of the crock pot. And then you take your mushrooms. These are just baby Bella mushrooms that I have cut up. I took the stem off of them and just cut them up. And then you just put them in the bottom on top of your onions. And then you take all your beef and you just put the beef in there on top of that. Try not to get too much of the extra flour. You just want enough to cover your meat. And then the last thing you do is you take a 10.5 ounce can of beef broth and you just pour it in. Pour that in there. And then you're done with that and you just put the lid on it. And on mine, I'm going to wait till, and then I keep it on 5 hours, and then it'll be done at supper time. And I'll just cook some garlic bread to go with it, and then that'll be supper. Okay, so the stroganoff is done cooking, and right before you serve it, you put in about 12 ounces of sour cream. And then you mix it all up and you cook some egg noodles, and then you just pour your egg noodles in there. Or you don't have to mix your egg noodles in. You could just put the egg noodles on your plate and then put the stroganoff on top of your noodles. But I kind of like to mix mine all together. And then once you have it all mixed up, then you just dish it out. Bon appetit! It's so funny how something so insignificant as magnets on your refrigerator makes a house feel really homey. And then once we get all the magnets off, now it just looks all cold, and it really makes it feel more final now. It's like, okay, we are coming to the end, we're actually packing the house up and we're not going to be here much anymore. So it's funny how the small things really make a big impact. Today is a week until we close on the house. And so we're going to tackle our storage units here in our garage. We've got most everything done in the house, just a couple of last minute items, but we need to sort out the stuff here in the storage units. So here we go. Okay, so we've got 2 storage units here on the side of our garage, and this one is now completely empty. Besides the painting in the back, when we bought the house, the original builder of the house, his wife, painted that picture, and it's kind of just stayed with the house. I think we are the 4th owners of this house, and it stayed with the house ever since, and so we kind of just feel like it needs to stay with the house. And yeah, we had it out here in the storage shed. That's where it was when we bought the house, and it didn't really go with our decor. So we just decided to leave it with the house. But not only is that empty, but all the shelves are empty as well. And now we have this side to still do, and then we'll be done. Okay, so now we finally have the second storage unit cleared out. All this stuff here we're just going to leave for the new owner. It's paint and paint thinner and some carpet and sheetrock and stuff like that we've had. So we're going to leave some of these items here and some shingles that we put on our roof too, to fix some. So anyway, so now we're done with this. Thank goodness this was a job. Here's our guest room. This is all the stuff that we're actually selling and getting rid of. It keeps getting fuller and fuller, but it's not quite to the door yet. But there's all kinds of boxes and stuff back there that you can't see. Boxes upon boxes upon boxes. And I'm gonna have to sell my childhood toy box. That thing is almost as old as I am. It's got to be an antique at this point. And it's on wheels. Kind of sad to see it go, but you know, somebody else can use it and have good memories of it just like I did. So last night was our last official night here in the house, and I don't think we got to bed till about 2:30 in the morning because it was a pretty big thunderstorm that come through, and I just wasn't able to sleep. I just wasn't tired. So we finally got to bed about 2:30, and then I think it's a little after 6:30 now. The next morning, I just woke up, so I got out of bed, and there's a lot to do today. It's kind of bittersweet though, you know. But I kind of want to show you the view that we have from our deck that we're going to miss. Here is our view that we have every day. It's a view of the Arkansas River. Even though it's a little hazy out here, it's fairly clear simply because there's no fog on the water. Sometimes you can see fog on the water over there.